I'm going to get to the recap in a second. I'm halfway through season 4, by the way, but between this and 3, because Battlefront isn't working, I messed around and watched the New Mutants, and a warning would have been nice. I would say that's time in my life I'm not going to get back, but thankfully I was black about it and watched it on the clock. But still, whoever wrote and was in charge of this whole movie, corner, now. You and the entire staff of Madam Web. Anyhow, we start the season off with Juggernaut, who definitely deserves an invite to next year's Player Haters Ball. He gets his power stolen, the X-Men try to get him back, he ends up in a coma, which he spends the entire time in, making Charles relive all his different childhood memories of how he hates him just because. Then when he gets his powers back, he just gets up and walks off. Xavier's a better man than me because I would have just left Big Brother ride. Also, I'm starting to see what Deadpool is talking about because every time danger comes to the crib, they are conveniently never there. Next episode, the government continues to be the source of its own problems because they dig up Omega Red, and then when literally nobody is shocked when he betrays them, they manage to put him down, and then we get another end credit scene to a random ass episode. Next up, Magneto pulls up to the United Nations and is basically telling the entire planet that he built a mutant version of that Akon city out in space, and that all the mutants are leaving. Like, Magnus, you ain't never heard of real M's move in silence? Like, you didn't have to make an announcement. Y'all could have just did that and said nothing. Asteroid M is basically what black people would do if we got reparations. Y'all would wake up one day and we would just be gone, ducked off on our own little self-funded hideaways. And just like real life, it doesn't surprise me that so many of these countries who hate mutants also don't want them to leave. And I guess this is what the end credit scene was leading up to, because Cortez betrays Magneto, and after pulling him away from his space porn, the X-Men sneak back on board and basically prove that this man is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Also, I love that when they flee, because they decided to blow up the whole asteroid for some reason, they land in Africa and T'Challa's just hanging out there in the background like, please don't bring whatever nonsense y'all got going on my way. Kindly exit to your nearest Caucasian country. Next episode, Xavier has working legs, so you know it's a dream, and one that he is trapped in by the Shadow King. But him and Jean quickly kick him to the curb, so problem solved. Next episode, Morph is back and has Sentinel PTSD, so you know that's going to be the bad guy / personal demon he has to overcome this episode. After that, Scott goes to visit a doctor friend of his who basically has built a mutant-only town, which has now been taken over by only 3 people. And in a town full of mutants, for some reason, nobody decided to fight back until Cyclops showed up. Then we move on to Nightcrawler, who I think his style is very simplistic, but in my opinion has one of the coldest 90s cartoon superhero designs. Who right now we are only crossing paths with because Gambit got concussed by a tree.
What are you talking about? We're mutants. God gave up on us a long time ago.
Jesus, Logan. Well, now I know who your grudge has really been with the whole show. Also, religious people, a monster, a castle, a battering ram to storm the castle, using the furniture in the castle to fight back. I think I'm just going to go watch Beauty and the Beast after this. And at the end of the episode, Wolverine walks the Green Mile and gets right with Jesus. And why was he third wheeling on their couple trip again? Because even in the beginning, he clearly didn't want to be there. Like, the episodes where they need a specific group of X-Men together for the plot are always good, but the way they end up getting grouped is always hilariously random. My point proved in this next episode where Wolverine, Charles, and Storm get sent to an alternate future, I think, or get a glimpse of it, and just looking at how all this played out, why did Fitzroy agree to help Master Mold double down on making sure everything plays out like this? So we see a variant Storm of Wolverine and Love traveling in a time loop with Bishop trying to stop Charles from getting assassinated, and after a few failed attempts, they finally succeed. The timeline is fixed. Then we come back to our timeline where we see Wolverine and Storm actually flirting. And I swear to the God that Logan found only 2 episodes ago, if he goes right back to crying over Jean after this. Moving on, we got Moira calling for help, and it's not hard to notice that lately we've been spending a lot of time the last 2 seasons helping Xavier's exes. And seeing the flashbacks that her life basically went to shambles after dumping this man during his deployment. She has basically earned everything she's about to experience the next 2 episodes. Now her crazy kid with a plasma's body and Gear 5 Toon Force is just out here terrorizing the town. And then this boy left Logan literally crying in a puddle of himself. Had him so shook up he was scared of a rematch. All because he just wants to know who his daddy is, and of course he's a politician.
Saying I'm a coward, Blue Boy.
Stop it, both of you. We cannot afford petty fights among ourselves. Moira feels responsible for Proteus' actions.
It literally is. You showed him who his daddy ain't. You showed him who his daddy could have been. You could have just showed him who he actually was and just said he was a deadbeat. Now you got this tantrum-throwing toddler giving Wolverine more PTSD than World War II ever did. In the resolution I didn't see, apparently they all just hug and make up and everything is forgiven. And that's where I'm at with season 4. I'm going to try to get done by Monday so y'all can get that. We'll try to finish season 5 before 97 drops. I still miss the person I was before watching the New Mutants, because what even was that? And if there are any other properties that I should avoid between finishing this, starting 97, and Deadpool 3, please tell me now. But that's where I'm at. 12 out of 21 episodes in. I've burned through a little over half the season. Give me a few days and I'll get y'all the rest.